Hello, dear friends and foes alike. So, today, just joking, I want to talk about TOEFL Speaking Task 2, campus lecture. This is a practice, okay? And I'm just going to show you basically in today's lesson how you want to set up your reading notes for this one, okay? In case you've been rusty, in case you messed some up on your previous exams or something like that. So, on my piece of paper, in my computer paper, I usually have like a R and L for this kind of situation. So task 2, okay? And basically, we're focusing on the R right now, which stands for reading notes. What you want to have for this one, before you even read this task, before the task even begins, you want to have who, what, and why, okay? These are your labels. They're going to help you remember what exactly you want to write down. And when you're really good at this, you don't even have to write these words down anymore. I recommend this for the very beginning, when you really have no idea what the heck you're doing, all right? But when you do eventually become proficient at this, you don't have to actually write these words, okay? This is just a roadmap for now. So when you encounter like a reading excerpt or article like this, it could be a letter, whatever, an email, the first thing you want to do is identify the who, like who wrote this letter or who made this announcement. So this is just a title. Usually this is explaining what should happen. I'll get into that in just a moment, in just a second. And they go into the information here, but always check the signature first. That's like step 1. Because if there's a name here, it's either going to be a student or a professor. If it's a professor, they'll make it obvious, okay? Really explicit, like Professor Edwards, Dr. Edwards, okay? But here, when you have a plain first name and last name, like this, Christina Edwards, you're just going to write STU or STD, student. That's it. Boom. It takes just like a second or two. Now but never write their names down, because if you mispronounce it during the exam, you're going to lose points. Now you want to find out what exactly does Christina Edwards want here. Now, in a lot of cases, this is exactly what they want. Universities should ban sleeping in the library. But just to be on the safe side, because they don't always mention the request here, sometimes it could be something that has nothing to do with it. Read this information here. Try to extract it from the actual text, okay? The paragraph itself. It is very common to see students sleeping on the couches in the library. So often at times, what they'll do in TOEFL Speaking Task 2, okay? They'll kind of have this background information about what's usually going on here. Not always, but in half of them. And they'll usually mention that in the first sentence or two. If you're lucky enough to encounter this pattern. Now, you want to identify the pronoun since we're dealing with the person here. I, we, right? I do not think the university should allow this for 2 reasons. Okay, so it was the same thing as this. So we could just write this down. So let me just bring this down here, easier to see. University should ban sleeping. And if you want to abbreviate sleeping, you could do this in the library. That's it. I'm not going to write every word like should or the, because I want to have enough time to read the rest of the article and get ready to write the information about the why. Otherwise, I'll run out of time in some cases. So now with the why, these are basically the reasons for why the student wants the university to ban sleeping in the library. She doesn't want students to sleep there, okay? So here, look out for those sequencers. First, second also, right? First, and sometimes they're not there, that's okay, but you'll run into something that gives it away, like keywords. When students sleep in the library, we could tell that this is about that. They, who's they? The students, clearly. Occupy spaces where other students need to sit in order to get their work done. Okay, so here we're gonna put like students occupy spaces. You could do something like this if you want to be creative, where other students need to sit in order to get work done or something like that, okay? I'm typing this, but on the actual exam, you have to write it. So this would be the first one. And then, if you're fast enough, if you can get that second reason, that'll be sweet. It'll be perfect. A lot of you guys won't. Even if you have one, that's awesome. You could still get a 26 or higher score, assuming everything else is done correctly. So what's the second reason here? Second, okay, they made it really apparent. This is the easy one. When visitors come to our university and take a campus tour, the tour always takes them into the library. This isn't really the reason. It's related to it. Be patient. If these visitors see students sleeping there, they will get the impression that students at our university are not serious about their studies. Okay, so what we could do is say visitors, okay? Visitors, always have your subject verb object agreement. So visitors, what will they do? What will happen to them? In this case, it's like what are they gonna do? They're gonna get the impression. So visitors, and sometimes you could kind of paraphrase this to make sense of the grammar. Get impression that students at our university are not serious about their studies. That's it, guys. That's it. That's it. And later on, you will go into the listening information, okay, and take notes on that. And when you do this right, during your sample response, when you set this up, you're gonna say something like, so apparently a student has written a letter demanding that the university ban students who sleep, you could say that the university bans students from sleeping in the library, okay? But when you speak, not only are you gonna have this who plus what, who and what do they want, right? You're also gonna have the reasons for why they're proposing this, suggesting this. Because students are occupying spaces where other students, and we can say this because the sleeping students, this would be more specific. The sleeping students are occupying spaces where other students need to sit in order to get their work done. And because, you could throw in like that second because if you want, visitors who visit the library on a tour, on a university tour, will get the impression that students at our university are not that serious about their studies. And that's it. Of course, when you read this on the exam, it'll be kind of fast, okay? So this will take, less than 20 seconds, of course, to say it. Because you still have to mention how the student from the conversation feels about the information in the reading article, okay? So here it would sound like this. So apparently, a student has written a letter demanding that the university ban students from sleeping in the library because the sleeping students are occupying spaces where other students need to sit in order to get their work done, and because visitors who visit the library on a university tour will get the impression that students at our university are not that serious about their studies. And then you're gonna mention, what the person from the lecture would say, but we're not covering that right now. We're just focusing on this bit right here, okay? So hope you guys enjoy this one. Practice it a lot so you get used to writing this information, on time, because you have 45, sometimes 50 seconds to read the reading information, okay, and take notes on it. And that's it. Once it's gone for good. It's gone forever. And then they proceed to the conversation, all right? So yeah, that's it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.